What song is that? Okay, 198. It's never not good, is it? morning, Jesse. Welcome back, Diz. I'm doing okay, Diz. Sorry, I just read that. I'm doing okay this morning. How are you doing? Is it, Diz? I'm such a bad judge of it just because I'm having to see it all the time. I mean the length of my hair. Is your hair getting long? Is that what you were talking about? Oh yeah, Alpha? What are you particularly hot and ready for? I'm ready for the world, says Alpha. Hmm. Word up. When's that birthday, Alpha? Thanks, Crow. You made it in for your birthday, Crow. What are you doing today? was catching up. Good ear, Alpha. Besides Overcooked, what game are you best at competitively? Maybe Street Fighter Third Strike, Cyber. I'm not too competitive, but like those are games that I would say that I'm more proficient at than anybody I know. Overcooked, Street Fighter Third Strike. Hmm. I think that's actually it. Oh, thanks, Lindsay. chat. What is sunlight? Says Diz. Diz, have you been spending too much time inside? I'm getting plenty of sunlight right now. It's nice, guys. It's really pretty right now on the cold side. Wednesdays are always particularly nice because it's street sweeping day, so everybody has to move their cars. So you kind of all you see is trees and grass and bugs and animals, squirrels and the street sweeper. Oh, is Cup of Soup here? Yeah, sure. Let's see. There's a part of me that thinks that I might have a bit of lactose intolerance, says Maddie, but it's not bad enough for me to care. I love dairy too much. I'm around the same, Maddie. I mean, I'm definitely lactose intolerant, but I know my limits, right? I'm not one of those people that, sniffs a slice of cheddar and then, I have stomach issues for a week, but I definitely wouldn't like have a slice of pizza with a glass of milk and an ice cream to wash it down. Whoa, we got ourselves a little wasp. Hey, buddy. Thank goodness for screens, right? He'd be in here with me if I hadn't put up my screen. Interesting. I wonder what makes them do that. by my window. Uh, Diz. Oh man, what? No way. No way. Do I still have a mosquito in here somewhere? I tell you. I tell you. This time of year, right? Anyways, all I eat cheese. Want to buy a fancy burger because I don't eat fast food anymore, says Alpha. I only eat cheese when I eat a fancy burger. Honestly, like, now that I'm thinking about, like, my food habits, if I didn't eat pizza and I didn't eat burgers, I probably wouldn't, consume that much cheese. Cheese is kind of like an extra for me. It's like a thing that is added to actual food. It's like a topping. I see cheese as a topping, and specifically only for like two things, which is burgers and pizza. I don't really eat cheese with chicken much, which is a thing that I consume a lot. Yeah. Cheese is DLC of food, says Alpha. Word up. Oh, I'm gonna be honest. Cyber, I don't really care for the song, and it's not necessarily. It has nothing to do with the lyrical content. Um, I think there's a type of music, right? There's a type of music right now that like just I can't connect with it. The music that's kind of like turn up music, or like music for the club. It's like very hard for me to identify with right now, just because there is no club, and cyber like when I'm like sitting in my room by myself, I very rarely listen to like music. Period. But when I do, it's not like outside music. If that makes sense, like an outside voice. It's not really outside music when I do choose to listen to music. So for example, like um, who's an artist that I like? Bum, 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 bum. Like I'm not really listening to like the baby right now. Like the baby tracks are dope, but like those beats and those lyrics like do not. I'm like not in the mood. So I was really in the mood for WAP. Cyber when it came out, and like I'm glad that the song exists and that people like it, but it's as simple as Omni's not in the mood for this. Um, does Phoenix Town sound good? Says Cup of Soup. Like Phoenix down, but as a town, there's a town called Phoenix, and it is in the desert. I was born there. Cup of Soup, or at least right next to it anyway. And point is, yeah, that sounds fine. Phoenix Town sounds fine. Cup of Soup. It's both a reference to Final Fantasy and maybe even a veiled reference to Arizona, the capital of Arizona, the most desert of the states. The actual tune isn't that catchy, and I say this as a fan of Megan. Yeah, I don't really care for the song. It's a Diz. It's a. I don't know if you're making a joke. Maybe Diz is making a joke. It's just a Meg and Cardi song. Ben Shapiro did a reading of the lyrics, and it's wild to hear. Oh. I like. I know that this is like a very tired take, but like the sound of Ben Shapiro talking, like his voice, I can't do it. Like it has almost little to. I mean, it does have something to do with his views, but almost little to nothing to do with his views. Like a little bit, but like I would almost prefer that Ben Shapiro hires somebody to say things that he believes, and I have to hear it from somebody else's voice. Something about his delivery, like his vocal delivery, like just is so like grating. Anyways, this seems to agree with me. Maybe I don't know. Alpha says they can't stand Cardi B. When she talks, I want to bang my head until I can't no more. Until I can't no more is always such a funny thing to put at the end of the. Okay, that word up, Alpha. Word up. Cardi B. Okay. I feel you, and I feel you. You're not crazy. It was difficult to listen to, but gave me a feeling I can't describe, says Lindsay. Uh, hmm. I was listening to drum and bass yesterday, says Liana. Ugh, Liana, always good. I was listening to drum and bass yesterday, and my boyfriend came up like, I don't know how you listen to DMB all the time and not get a headache. Um, that's rough. Liana, I don't know what kind of drum and bass you were listening to, but I could listen to drum and bass for a long time, but maybe not all drum and bass. Like I really like liquid DNB. Like if I'm gonna be listening, maybe while doing something or listening to for an extended period of time, liquid drum and bass is right there. Like part of the reason that I made Daydream sound the way it did is because at the time I was listening to a lot of liquid DNB, which is why I would say that most of Daydream is drum and bass, but not like drum and bass that would get released by or spun by a drum and bass house or like a drum and bass DJ probably wouldn't spin them. Okay, yeah, it's weird, Lindsay. It's weird. Smells like this kid in school. No, prompted. Let's see. Well, actually, word up is. I agree with that. Take Ben Shapiro. I don't think you're crazy, Alpha, but I don't know you too well. Maddie says, I don't know if I've ever actually heard Ben Shapiro speak. I've seen pics and memes of him, but never listened to him. Well, one of the fortunate. How is drum and bass the only genre of music to not be bad, even though every song uses the exact same sample? Well, Alpha, we have some hyperbole here. we have we have some hyperbole because not all drum and bass songs use the same sample. You know that. I know that. But I would say drum and bass having like the same drum pattern, like its drum pattern is what defines the genre. You can kind of do almost anything on top of a drum and bass pattern and it be considered drum and bass. Almost like how you can do most things on top of a trap beat and it can be considered trap. I've definitely heard some drum and bass that I do not like. Um, I that I do not like. But I can be in the mood for it. I can be in the mood for it for sure. Um, Cause like I've made drum and bass and I didn't use the same sample even from the different tracks that I used. So like drum and bass isn't used for the same sample, but I think like a lot of people when they think of drum and bass, they'll think of like amen break, which a lot of people use. A lot of things that aren't even drum and bass use the amen break. Like the amen break is like in the Powerpuff Girls like intro song, so it's like a very common sample for sure. But a lot of the drum and bass I listen to slash listened to doesn't use that break. So I don't know. I guess it's just a point of reference or a point of taste and exposure, like what kind of drum and bass you're listening to. Reggaeton songs all have the same bass line. We could do this game all day. Diz and Alpha. We could do this like, trap has the same drum beat, reggae has the same bass line, bossa nova has the same rhythm. Like we can do this all day. Like genres have to have a something that makes them, part of the same family. So usually there is a thing that kind of gets used a lot. And it's like, oh, that's a disco bass line. They'll like boom, 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 boom. Like we know the, we know, we know. But you can still find like really cool, unique qualities in it. Like drum and bass. Like if somebody played me a drum and bass song, if somebody played me a drum and bass song by like Spore. If anybody remembers Spore, it was like a Feed Me, the thing before Feed Me before Feed Me. If somebody played me like a Spore drum and bass track, and then they played me a oh, who am I thinking of? Oh, I can hear the song in my head. Um, he sings. That doesn't help. That doesn't help. Crap. He's basically like Owl City, but drum and bass. Fox Stevenson. Okay, if somebody played me a Spore song and then played me a Fox Stevenson song, I would say that those songs sound so far apart. They sound nothing alike. But they are both drum and bass. They don't use any of the same samples. They're two opposite sides of the spectrum. But you can listen to them for 6 seconds each and go, yeah, that's a drum and bass song. Um, Anyways, Soulful DMB sounds interesting. Soulful DMB is good. That's the fun part to me, says Umbe. How can I make something identifiable sound new? Ooh. Ah, now we're talking fun stuff. Yeah, Fox Stevenson. My wife loves that guy. Fox Stevenson is fun. Fox Stevenson is just Owl City for drum and bass heads. And I don't want that to sound insulting. If you find insult in that, then disregard it. Don't take it. Don't eat it if you don't like it. But that's how I view Fox Stevenson. It's like if you like drum and bass, but you don't like how like aggressive and um, monotonous it can be, and you want there to be like poppy auto-tuned vocals over the top of it, then yeah, Fox Stevenson is the artist for you. Ooh. I think the first technic. Sorry, I think technically the first song that I made that had drum and bass percussion. I want to say it was Keyline, but I think that's wrong. Twinkle Twinkle Bang Bang. No, wait, hold on. It was Midnight Drift 2. Midnight Drift 2. Dun, 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 dun. Wasn't it? Dun, 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 dun. I don't remember what my own songs sound like. Guys, is that Midnight Drift 2? Did I just hum Midnight Drift 2? I hate mosquitoes. I hate them. Make me have to put on some pants or something on the stream. This isn't drum and bass. Yeah, it is. My bad. Yeah, I think my first drum and bass song was probably Midnight Drift 2. Or Twinkle Bang... I can't hear Twinkle Bang Bang in my head. Yeah, it's definitely not Twinkle Bang Bang. I think it's Midnight Drift 2. Anyways, I ended up revisiting it in a more, like, liquidy fashion for Daydream. Yada, yada, yada. Perfect example of Poppy DMB. Listen to Sandblast, says Cyber. I think that's what it's called. I already forget my own tracks. You have like 100 more songs than me, so that's probably normal. Okay. Midnight Drift 2 made me change my whole sound, to be honest. Whoa. Really? To what? To what? I listen to more drum step over DMB, in my opinion, says Moptown. What was I doing? Wait. What was I doing? I was like, yo, the internet basically cataloging all of our lives and our phases that we go through is something else, isn't it? It just allows you to really look back on your music and go like, what was I doing? Not in a bad way, but just like, what was that? Where was I at right there? Ooh, IBM. Tasty. That was the only piano on that entire track. That was it, I think. It was like bum 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 bum. That was a good song. Hold on. Midnight Drift 2 was pretty good. Midnight Drift 2, I think, was a significant improvement over Midnight Drift 1, and I think Midnight Drift 3 was also drum and bass. Whoa, why do I remember some of my songs, but others just, I mean, I guess that's how the human brain works. I remember songs that came out like 6 years ago, like to a T, and then something I did on, YouTube a month ago, I've completely forgotten. Like, I'm Not Dead. I don't remember the chords from that song. Lenny says, do you ever go back and listen to your old songs you haven't heard in a while and get inspiration for new stuff? I want to say yes, but I can't think of any specific examples. Usually I'll go back and listen to old stuff and I'll find things that I forgot that I did. Like I'll find patches I forgot that I did and go like, why did I stop doing that? When you jump genres a lot of times, you gain new stuff for sure, but you miss a lot of stuff. Like there's a specific like little chip tune thing that I used to put in all of my songs, which is just like a square wave, but I would like make a little arp out of it every song. And then I eventually got away from it, and I was like, oh, I forgot about that. Very few things have stuck with me throughout my entire path, career, whatever you want to call it. The dog bark has kind of stuck with me, which I don't really want to count because it's just a sample, right? But the dog bark has stuck with me. Chords. Ever since Nice Dream, I've been like, I want to put in chords that I can't have a song that's just four chords. Now I've let go of that for like some Lush Dream stuff and some Quick Dream stuff. But at the time, I was just like, chords are the key. Chords are the trick. Chords are my recipe for success. Anyways, might have to start requesting Midnight Drift 2 in the streams from now on, says Umbe. Careful. I don't know if I was playing it right anyway. Never mind. I was playing it right. You can't hum any Omniboy like bridges from 2014 to 2017 without sounding like an idiot. It just gets stupid at that point. Sounds dope as an acoustic version. Oh, thanks, Liana. I'd play double lens for you if I hadn't already. Goodbye, Diz. Enjoy your day at work. Thank you so much for joining the stream before going. I hope that it's a good day for you. I'm gonna find this. I just don't know how the mosquitoes are getting in. I've got the screens up. They must just be squeezing through the screen. They like want it that bad. They want sweet, sweet death. Anywho, what was I saying? Mobtown wants to see me do a harpsichord Castlevania type beat. Maybe in one of the production streams, maybe. Type beat. I don't know. Maybe. That's the most I can offer you right now. Maybe in one of the production streams. Who knows? That could be fun, says Liana. Could be. Which is kind of Castlevania type beat. Oh, Umbe. We haven't done Witchy in the stream in a while, huh? Sometimes you just forget you've made a song. I've been playing so much of Clover Salad lately to like remember that song exists that sometimes you forget that you have other songs. I feel like there is not a stream where I play every stream song. I try to like kind of rotate them in and out. When I feel like I'm beginning to forget a song, usually I'll bring it back in, which is why I so rarely play Into Thin Air anymore. Because that song, like, there is a particular section of the stream, maybe from like just gonna throw out some arbitrary numbers, number stream number 20 to like stream number 70 where I played it like once to twice a stream. And so I have been letting that song kind of cool off and instead doing a lot of Clover Salad and variations of Clover Salad. Another song that's kind of been out for a while, but this is mostly because of Kit James's absence, is Reflection Pool. I don't really play that one as much anymore. Um, I've been slowly working back in Around the Pond. I played that one today. This one also. I've also been trying to work in this new one. Been trying to work in some of those newer ones. And then, of course, the unnamed one. Song now, but yeah, I've been trying to rotate them out a little bit, but Witchy has been out of rotation for a second. I should get a shirt like that after the pandemic is over, says Alpha. I'm sure somewhere they still sell shirts like this. How do people sit at piano chairs without backs? How do people sit at piano chairs without backs? I can't think of a piano chair / piano bench that has a back, actually. Dar, unless you're just like bringing up a chair with a back, a chair with a back to a piano. I think that having a chair with a back on it to play piano, one, as like the audience, which is usually behind you, it hides some of the piano, which you don't want. Secondly, having a chair with a back would kind of encourage some level of relaxation. And when you're playing piano, this is, again, somebody who doesn't have any classical training, so take all of the things I'm saying and just throw them away if you want. And when you're playing piano, you're supposed to have, like, good posture. And I feel like chairs with backs encourage kind of, like, slouching and kind of, like, resting against the chair. And you're not supposed to be doing that as piano. You're supposed to, having, like, posture throughout your body is supposed to make your hands and everything more available to play, especially if you're going to be sitting for a long time and playing. Sometimes when I'm working on music, I will notice that, because I have a computer chair that has a back on it, I'll notice over time in the chair I'll slowly start to slouch more and more until I'm kind of playing the keys like this, and like my feet are maybe up on something. However, like if I don't have a back, I kind of can't do that. And so sometimes when I'm sitting there, not so much for streams, because I do want to be a little comfortable for streams because it's more social, but sometimes when I'm sitting at my computer desk and really working on stuff like getting commissions done, I'll actually move my office chair over here and I'll take my piano bench and I'll put it over there on my where all my studio stuff is. I even thought about getting one of those like really simple circular chairs that roll around for working in the studio. Yeah. Word. Dar says, but my posture is terrible. Without the back, my posture is worse. I'm screwed either way. I think without it, it's kind of supposed to help you improve your own posture. Because if you have the chair back, you're like relying on the chair for posture. I understand a lot of people slouch. I even slouch, especially if I'm just kind of sitting here and I'm talking after a while. But usually, I don't know if you've noticed, but if I play piano, I will gradually improve my posture because I'm going to be sitting here playing piano, ideally for like 2.5 hours. And if you slouch, it can be really bad for your back. So I don't naturally have good posture in the same way that I don't naturally play piano. It's more of a mental, physical choice I'm making to try to remind myself to keep my back straight. Um, and I know sometimes sitting or standing even with your back straight, Dar, and other people who might have poor posture, isn't comfortable. Isn't comfortable at first. It's kind of one of those things where you're making yourself uncomfortable in the moment to make yourself more comfortable in the long run. Kind of like getting up and cleaning your house. It's like maybe it sucks in the moment, but in the long run, it'll make your life a little bit easier if you're in a clean and organized space. That's what my posture is with playing piano. And that is why a lot of piano chairs don't have backs on them. It would actually make you play piano worse over time. Um, Maybe immediately comfortable, but in the long term, not good for your piano playing. But again, this is somebody that has not been formally trained. You don't have to do anything. Play piano on a couch for all I care. You know, you might end up becoming the best piano player in the world that's ever played on a couch. Um, do you, I suppose. Bum ba bum 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 bum. Bum ba bum 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 bum. Hmm. Mobtown says Seth Everman style. Word, word, word. Good old Seth Everman. Pushing my shoulders back all the way feels so unnatural, so I've been trying to do it more. I love that, by the way, Lindsay. I also do that. A lot of times when I'm on the subway, I mean, oh, now I'm sad because I haven't been on the subway in a pretty long time. But back in the before times when I used to be on the subway like every day, sometimes I would like mentally remind myself like I'd be reading on the subway and I'd like actually actively go like that. And I'm sure for some like maybe an onlooker it looked weird because I would have to do it like 4 or 5 times on the ride, like remind myself. And now it's just kind of like a natural thing that I do. I remember in high school, my slouch got really bad, and if I'm being honest, I actively made my slouch worse. Like intentionally, it wasn't like I grew into a bad slouch. I actually made my slouch worse on purpose because, like, I don't know, I was like going through some thing, like we were all going through things in high school, and I was just like, I don't know, maybe I was like intentionally trying to look as destitute as possible, but I would like just slouch a lot. I would also look down at the floor a lot when I was like walking around places. Not because there was anything interesting down there. I was like actively looking at the floor. And so a lot of me is like undoing a lot of that. The reason that I was laughing, Lindsay, is because out of context, saying that something feels unnatural and then following it immediately by saying, but I've been trying to do it more is funny. It's like, this thing doesn't feel good, but I've been trying to do it more. Like, the color of this room is bad, but I've been trying to paint everything else that color. Did you not like your height? Says Kiwi. I've never really cared about height. I think I've never cared about height because I've been somebody that is average. I've scaled as an adult, not as a kid. I was a little shorter as a kid, but like as an adult, I've scaled average to slightly, maybe an inch above average. So height has never bothered me. The only time height bothers me is when I'm like on a plane or I'm having to sit in any like cramped space that is built for the average sized human being. Dar says I've been doing push-ups wrong my entire life. And then Dar talks about tall people privilege. Um, pushing my shoulders back to do push-ups. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not doing a push-up right now. I'll have to monitor that, Dar, and see how I do them. Using short people to fix your posture should be a crime, says Umbe. Do people do that? Oh, need someone 5'5" or below to do a backflip on me and make me feel bad. Remember that the dude that did the front flip on the other dude in UFC, and then he had to give the title away. He like won, but he did a front flip on the guy while he was unconscious. And then everybody got mad. Anyways, embracing discomfort is often the only way to grow. This is true, Lindsay. Oh, what a nice proverb. I'm sure that's in the Bible somewhere. Like the one pic of Ehi. Yeah, for some. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because, like, whenever me and Ehi took pics together, it always looks like Ehi is, like, a foot taller than me. But it's just because, like, Ehi. Whatever. Anyways. Tall people are epic, says Kiwi. I don't know about that. But, I mean, tall people are tall. That is the thing. I also have an interesting reason why my shoulders are this way, says Lindsay. I wish I was taller so I can stomp on people. The good proverbs are in the Bible. That's a joke. Hey, he's so tall, says Alpha. Um, the amount of people that have requested my assistance for massages because I'm short, says Mbe. Interesting. I didn't know that this was a thing. One of my closest friends for a while was 6'7". I'm 5'7", says Alpha. You know, a lot of people complain about being short, and I get it. I get it. However, I think they both suck, guys. Being average height is the only good one. It's not like short is bad and tall is good. Short is bad. Tall is also bad. Average is pretty good. The world is built for average sized people, meaning that short people usually can't reach things and tall people usually have back problems because the world isn't made for them. So, yeah, like being like I imagine like 5'5" to 5'9" is like sick. As far as the world and your comfort in it, your comfort level in it. Isn't 5'7" average, says Maddie? I think so. 5'5" is average, never mind. I kind of like being average. Yeah, see? Average is sick. When you bonk your head all the time, you won't be so jealous of tall people. Yeah, 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 true, Liana. My thing is mostly discomfort. My thing is mostly discomfort. Like, I think tall people are uncomfortable a lot of the time. Yeah. And I think short people, I guess, can't see or reach things. And depending on the setting, people will see them as undesirable. But yeah, both sides are bad. I think they're equally as bad. Being short sucks. Being tall sucks. Being average is like cool. Being average, everybody likes it. Everybody likes you. You fit in things. Chairs make sense. Plane seats make sense. Yeah. It's a stigma more than everything. Omni is a height centrist, says Dar. That's funny. Manny says I had my growth spurt early and I was taller than everyone for a while, and then my short friend had growth spurt and got taller than me and it bummed me out, says Manny. That's funny. People will say 5'5" is short, but never met a Hispanic girl. I don't think that 5'5" is short. I think that 5'5" is like it feels regular. It feels regular to me. I'm 5'11". It's a solid height, says Jesse. Blah, blah. I'm 5'5". Also, see all these 5'5s in here? 5'5" is regular, guys. The heck? 5'4"? Yeah, see? This is regular. People that think 5'5" is short, I almost said they're stupid, but people that think 5'5" is short they need to go outside. Or like leave Sweden or wherever they live. Solid 6 would have been great. Should have slept more and ate better as a team. Maddie's 5'8". Not sure. I know people 5 feet or 4'11", says Alpha. I actually don't know how tall I am. This is like a whole thing. I've never measured my height. Last time I measured my height, it wasn't me. It was for PE in like junior high school. So I can only tell you how tall I was in junior high. In junior high, I was 5'6". 5'6"? 5'4"? Oh, no, I don't even remember. It was 5'4" or 5'6". It was somewhere around there. That wasn't junior high. That was high school. Sorry. Anyways, it doesn't matter. The point is, it's inaccurate now. That's not how tall I am. I've grown at least a few inches since junior high school. What to say on your driver's license? okay, okay. So Cyber, when I went to go get my driver's license, I hadn't measured myself or weighed myself, so I actually just wrote down what the person next to me was writing down theirs, and so I put that I was 6 feet tall and that I was 160 pounds, and I'm pretty sure both of those aren't true. I'm pretty sure I'm definitely not 160 pounds, and I'm not. I don't think I'm 6 feet tall either. I I actually don't know what 160 pounds looks like. Somebody needs to like. It just seemed regular. And he. We were sitting down. I don't know how tall he was compared to me actually. But I was like, I think like an adult man. I think when you're like 18, you're like 160 pounds. Um, I'm 160, says Alpha. Okay, yeah, maybe I am 160 then. Alpha? I don't know. I don't know. I'd guess you're 140, says Liana. Ooh, it's like a circus game. It's like one of those fair games. Except I don't know the answer, so I can't reward anybody. But I like this. You're 127 or something, says Kiwi. 135. Wow, the guesses are rolling in. 168, says Momtown. Talking about themselves though. Kiwi says 130. I'm not good at guessing weight, but you're not 160 on it. You sure? You haven't seen my feet, maybe. My calves or something. Maybe that's where I keep all the weight. Friends say I'm overweight for my height, but I look good, says Alpha. People think I'm swole. Word up. He's probably 140. This is so weird. Now I'm starting to feel weird about it. I'm starting to feel like weird. I don't know. Me and Omni have the same body type, but he's way taller. Umbe, have we met? 135 says Kiwi. You're like stretched out weight. Omni is 9 feet tall and over 1,000 pounds. Thanks for chiming in, Soothsayer. I always like when Soothsayer has something to say. It's very rarely Sooth. Weight is stored in the calves. It could be Dar. Weight is a weirder thing to discuss than height for reasons. For sure, for sure. We don't know where it's stored. I wear a lot of black. I always figured you were my height, though, says Alpha. I have no idea. Have I met anybody? I've met, okay, you know what? I've met Liana, and I've met Kiwi, but Kiwi hasn't met Liana. But those are the only people in the stream that I've met. Those are the only people in the stream that I've met. And I've met Darren Spirit, apparently. Get away from here. I've met Darren Spirit, apparently. Now, I was in Little Tokyo a couple of days ago, and somebody like just tweeted at me, like, I just saw Omniboy. And then they said something else, but I don't remember what it was. And I remember thinking to myself, what did I look like when they saw me? I wasn't expecting to run anybody. A store in downtown was closing. Fickle Wish, my roommate wanted to go to Fickle Wish, so drove down there, basically just stood in line, like stood around. And I didn't buy anything. I wasn't dressed to impress or anything. I might have been slouching. So maybe they don't have an accurate read on my height either. I don't know. My sister's a CrossFitter and used to always be like, your moves are going to come back, just wait. They get me scared, says Alpha. That's a weird thing to say to somebody. But I guess, siblings, right? 115 is skin and bones, says Lindsay. Word. Word, I guess, to each their own. I don't know. That information has just never been useful to me. Because I think the only time I've ever actually had to answer it, I lied, and it didn't matter. They just put it... I was afraid, guys. I was actually afraid because I thought that if I put the wrong thing on my height and weight on a driver's license, they were going to weigh me and measure me, and then I was going to get in trouble for, like, fraud or something. Like, I don't know, like lying on a government document, which I think is illegal. I'm pretty sure that's illegal. And I feel like an ID isn't... Anyways, point is, I lied and it didn't matter. So... And that was the last time anybody has ever in an official context asked me how tall I am or how much I weigh. After that, it was usually just random girls in like clubs or at shows going, how tall are you? How much do you weigh? It's never a dude. It's never a dude asking. Anyways, asking me how tall I am, and then when I tell them I don't know, they just kind of give me this weird like side eye, and then they leave. Then they leave me alone. Anyways, I don't know. I don't know how tall I am. I do know that my eyes are brown. I did put that down, so that wasn't a lie on the driver's license. If girls are asking how tall you are, you're definitely over 6 feet, says Jesse, which is just not true. And I want so badly to say why I know that's not true, but it doesn't. It just insults so many people. Basically everybody in the story comes out looking bad. So I won't tell that story, but women will ask how tall you are if you're not over 6 feet. But I hear what you're saying. I mean, you're right in that, like, yeah. I hear what you're saying. I hear you. Oh, Christ. I'm trying to think of anybody that I've met and they've ever been surprised or by my height, or I've been surprised by somebody else's height. Oh, you know what? Okay, so I drove for the Super Bowl one time. I don't really need to get into that story about how, because I've told it like 4 times before in the stream. But in 2015, I drove like for a car service, like a chauffeur service for the Super Bowl, and I met Michael Chiklis. He was way shorter than I thought he was. I also met H. John Benjamin, also shorter than I thought he was going to be. When I say I met, by the way, I mean I rolled up to the airport and they got into my car and I drove them, not my car, but the company's car that I was driving. And I drove them to their hotel and then picked them up from their hotel and then drove them to the Super Bowl arena in Glendale. But typically when I meet people, I feel like I'm very rarely surprised by how short or tall they are. People always seem less. Not always. Let me back up. Not always. People usually are just like not as dope. Yeah, that sounds mean. Whatever. People are just usually not as dope. Not as dope as, not I think they are, but not as dope as they like portray themselves to be. I feel like I've met a lot of people and thought like, oh, yeah, word up. I mean, whatever. And that's kind of just been my experience. Usually, some people are way doper than I expect them to be. Mia Gladstone was way doper than I thought Mia was going to be. I met a Tumblr friend who lived in San Francisco and a DeviantArt friend from New Zealand who was visiting the Bay, says Leon. Word up, word up, word up. The universe gave me those extra 4 somewhere else, says Alpha. Oh my goodness. Jesus Christ. Alright. Me skating down I-65, says Dar. I have completely lost track. I've lost the thread of the chat. The Tumblr phone was shorter than I thought, and the DA phone was taller. I had a DeviantArt friend named Janine Liana, and she was so cool. She was a woman. She was a woman, and I was not. I was 14. I was an adult. That's what I'm basically saying. I'm saying she was an adult and I was a child. And I wrote really like angsty poetry and did drawings and flash animations. And she did like, like actual art, like real art. And I remember thinking, one day I'm going to meet this person. She lived in Spokane? I actually don't know how to pronounce it. I don't live in Washington. Spokane? Anyway, she lived up there. And I thought to myself, one day I'm going to be an adult and I'm going to meet this person. Never did. Sometimes I think about it, I wonder, like, is she alright? Does she still keep doing art? Or did she kind of stop? You did Flash animations? I did do Flash animations, Alpha. I did. If they're taller, it's usually, oh, okay. But if they're shorter, it's usually, whoa, why are you so tiny, so cyber? When people are taller, you know who's really tall? Mushba. Do you know who Mushba is? Probably not. It's okay. Mushba's like way taller than I thought Mushba was gonna be. Mushba's huge. One time a dude and his friend that lived in Georgia drove down to give me their dog. I met them on Xbox Live. Can I view them? Are they still online? Shaq is pretty tall, says Alpha. But one of them had a crush on me, and I didn't know it was also like 14. 14 was a good age for me. 14 was chill age. Had a lot of crushes. Had no jobs. Had no bills. Generally just a good time. The mom said that idea is weird to me. I'm going to buy you a scale and a measuring tape for your birthday next year on me. Oh. Why? You want me to use it? I don't want a scale in this house. I don't want no scales allowed in this house. I'll leave it outside. Stand on it outside. Measure the weight of things. Yeah, that's weird. How much do things weigh? I don't know. I can remember having a. I can remember when they let us use scales in. Spiders everywhere. I can remember when they let us use scales in science class, physics class, and I didn't have like a scale, like a proper scale at home, and I remember like treating it almost like it was a toy, just getting like pencils, getting like a phone, putting everything on the scale and just being like, wow, this is so and so many grams. Like, isn't that interesting? I think my fascination with the scale is gone now. Like, bros, 14, got mad at me for being 14. 14 was a good time. Again, Kiwi 14 was a good time. Only piano scales allowed, says Liana. Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. Remember this one? short people said cyber. It's just not most people I know are shorter than me. Then again, I'm far from the tallest person I know. I know monsters who are 6'8" and a few that are taller. Kaiju people said small town Tokyo. Who's comparing me to BTS? There's a legit guy at college who was taller than the door frame, and that is the kind of nonsense that I imagine it sucks. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Adolf Smith. Can you play this with a harpsichord preset, says Mobtown? I wish I would have seen that before I finished the entire song. I was actually going to do that earlier. It's like really loud though. feel like harpsichord, ghosts and goblin type beat. um, the creators of ATLA left the live action remake. Uh oh. Oop up. Oop up. Huh. Something going on a lively quest in an 80s LucasArts game. Ooh. Holy crap. LucasArts in 2020. Yay, yay, yay. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. I think probably most of the games sound, I mean, most of the songs sound like that with a harpsichord preset. Um, like a medieval thing. I think I think anything with harpsichord sounds like it has that weird sound. I gotta look inside of a harpsichord one day, see what it looks like in there. Why it sounds like that. I'm not watching as Forces Star, but the creator has sexually misconduct allegations. I don't know what that is. Oh, I know what a sexually misconduct allegation is. I don't know what S4 is. Like a different Avatar story, or even focus on non-Avatar during the events of the show. Says Alpha. Jesse says the story is strong. It can survive adaptations. For some people, animation won't work, but it doesn't mean the story wouldn't resonate with them. Luckily, the adaptation does nothing to diminish the original work. Dar continues to say, which is also not surprising considering the guy interlaced two rape scenes with an action scene. I'm talking about Castlevania, baby. Oh yeah, Castlevania. Hey, I know one of the people that works on that. I can't be what's the word? Unbiased. It's really hard for me to do that. I try as often as I can to be unbiased about things. You guys remember the 100 Gex talk. I try to be unbiased about things, even if I know and have worked with or am friends with the people that are behind the thing. Um, so I think I'm doing a pretty good job about it. The streams are small enough to where like a lot of this stuff doesn't come back to like bite me in the butt on like Twitter or something like that. It kind of helps that I'm not super active on Twitter right now, but I try to be as like straightforward as possible and transparent as possible, and I think that's going to hurt me in the future, but I just don't care enough, I guess. I think I tried to do that thing where I was really tiptoeing around. I know you guys probably to you guys what it looks like right now is that I'm tiptoeing all the time around conversations, but this is this is me being as transparent as possible. I usually will only tiptoe around a conversation when I feel like there's no way for me to express myself um, without it just sounding mean. I try to think of like wording, like if somebody were to take like rip this video from YouTube. I'm trying to think about how I can word things so that there is no soundbite somebody could use that where it just sounds like, you know. Anyways, people say 100 Gex is good, but I like to ask how many 100 Gex fans are black, says Alpha. Alpha? Alpha? We're not having that talk today. We're Alpha, we're not having that talk today. Today is when we are not having that talk. It's a good talk. I love the talk. Oh boy, do we love to talk here. But yeah, I can't. I can't do that talk. Not today. I know nothing of that show, says Dar about Castlevania. Is Hunger Games just mean rap? Also, not gonna answer that question. Um, see, you guys, you see? I've been very, very transparent about how I feel about that and why I feel the way I feel about it. I did it in an Arizona stream. I don't remember what number it was, guys. It was like I don't know, 192 or something like that. I laid it all out, as good as I could. But you guys are asking questions that if I answer these questions flat out and honestly, it's gonna sound bad. It's gonna sound mean. It's gonna sound bad and mean. But yeah, crap. Now I've completely lost the thread on what I was talking about. Anyways, oh yeah, I try to be as transparent as possible now. I think there was a time where who's somebody that I can throw under the bus right now? Who's somebody? Who is a person who I feel completely comfortable throwing under the bus because I do not care. There's a specific name that's in my head, but I'm trying not to use her. I'm trying to see if I can find anybody else. And it's looking bleak. It's looking bleak. It's looking bleak. Oh, Jeffree Star. Oh, crap. Oh, that's too easy. No, I'll just use that. Whatever. This isn't a contest. Yeah. Jeffree Star's trash, right? And I've played shows with Jeffree Star. I know Jeffree Star's trash. I've been known Jeffree Star was trash. A few other people figured out maybe a few years later, and then they even came to me personally. They were like, Omni, you were right. And I was like, yeah, heck yeah, I was right. I was with this person on the road for like months. But several other people still, still liked and supported. So that's fine. But I can talk about, and I have talked about Jeffree Star without being necessarily super personal or mean. I've just laid out the facts and stuff like that in my own personal experiences with this person. And the same way that I've done that same thing with Jana. Remember Jana? That whole mess? I did the same thing. I was just very open and chill and honest. And I think that sometimes it gets a little bit harder if the people are like truly my friends. Like, was Jeffree Star ever my friend? No, God no. Was Jana ever my friend? No. Were half of these people ever my friend? No, not really. But there are some people that like maybe something will happen and they're my friend, and that doesn't mean that I cape for them or I shoot them like constant endless bail when they get in trouble with something. But it does mean that when I talk about it, I try to not have personal stuff in there. And there is a oh, hold on. Jeffree Star is just a trash person in my opinion. Yes, Alpha. Yes, we've talked about it in some previous streams. These were the good old days. But I think, what do I think? I think the reason sometimes it's a little bit harder is because like I don't feel like any of you guys are like attached to Jeffree Star. If you are, that's whatever. But I don't feel like you guys are. It becomes a little bit harder when I have friends who maybe you guys listen to my music, but you also listen to this person's music, and I don't like them. Like, I have a personally bad relationship with them. Maybe it's fallen out, or maybe there's just personal stuff that has nothing to do with music, nothing to do with music business. I just don't like this dude. And then, like, you guys might bring them up in the stream or something like that, and it's just always just like, yeah, word up. Somebody brought... Remember when I was like, I don't want to talk about them? Oh, it was Joji. Remember that? Remember when people would bring up Joji in the stream? And I would always be kind of like, can we not talk about him in the stream? It's weird, because it has nothing to do with music stuff, but it's more personal. And so, usually when I'm talking about things, I try to keep it like professional, not a personal thing. So there's a lot of people I don't like for personal reasons that are like Omni versus this person. I feel like Jeffree Star's is more wide. Like, Jeffree Star's just a bad person, so I feel okay talking about it. Jana was just like a regrettably racist person, and so I felt okay talking about it. But usually when the person does something to me personally, I won't bring that into like a public conversation for sure. Yeah. You said something about Luca Lush. I don't think I said anything personal about Luca Lush. Me and Luca Lush have a very rich history, but I didn't say anything bad personally about him. I can say that in that history, sometimes things have been good, sometimes things have been very bad, and sometimes Luca talks to me now, and sometimes I respond, and sometimes I'll talk to Luca, and sometimes he'll respond. I would not say that we're like best mates now, but Luca Lush did recently release a song called Afterglow, and now I don't want to release a song called Afterglow, or even have a song called Afterglow. Is there a way to be racist that isn't regrettable? Uh, yes. Well, then it's not racism, is it? Okay, you might have got me there, Lindsay. All right. I think that there's some certain times where somebody can say something without knowledge, not realizing that the thing is racist. Maybe if somebody's like never, I don't know, like maybe they've never met a black person before and they didn't know any like racist context, and then they were like, that person looks like a monkey or something like that. I'd be like, oh, that's incredibly racist. But maybe they don't know that. Maybe they're just like ignorant and they just said something really messed up. I think it could be, and then they regret it. Then I think that's like regrettable racism, maybe, right? There's definitely certain times where I've had interactions with children, right, where children have said things to me where I was like, wow, if that came out of an adult's mouth, we wouldn't be cool anymore. Because you're a kid, you don't really understand, social discretion. So you might say something like sexist or racist just because you don't really understand. I think that's regrettable racism. But maybe it's not racism. I don't know. I'm trying to explain where my brain went. Why you have to use that example, says Alpha? Because I've been called a monkey before, Alpha. I don't know. It was like off the dome. That was like, whenever somebody thinks of like racist things, my brain always goes to monkey because I think that that's the one that comes up most often in my life. Probably. Yeah. Somebody called me a monkey in Japan. I don't want to like bum the stream out. It's more so funny. I think I laughed at it. I got a good laugh at it. I mean, I was like Jesus Christ. I took like a second. I had like whiplash, and then I was like, oh yeah. I'm in Japan. It's different. It's not LA. I hate that example, says Alpha. I'm sorry, Alpha. I was not trying to upset anybody in the stream. Trust, believe you me. A lot of Asians are racist, says Adolf Smith. Not only white people, I mean. Racism is everywhere. For sure. That's funny. Adolf said that before I mentioned the Japan thing. Yeah. Japan is weird in a good way. Japan's good in a weird way, too. It's okay. I think every country has their thing. But I didn't take it nearly as harshly as I would have over here in the States. It was okay. I never liked Jeffrey, says Isadora. In fact, I hate him. At first sight. And that happens to me rarely. That's dope, Isadora. That people have done that to me. Isadora, there's been some people that I've looked at and been like, ugh, Jesus Christ. And yeah, I didn't like them. And I don't know why that is. I don't want to explore. Maybe it's like some problems that I have. Sometimes the people ended up being actually bad. Sometimes I never got to know them to see whether they were bad or not. There are certain looks, for sure, Isadora, that bother me. And it means nothing. It means that people can be fine. There's just certain looks. I don't know if you guys know what the Chainsmokers look like, and I know the Chainsmokers get so much garbage in this stream. I've talked poorly about the Chainsmokers at least 4 or 5 times. So apologies to the Chainsmokers if they are indeed owed one. But there's 2 Chainsmokers. There's one that kind of looks like he would have like Cheeto dust on his hands if you went to shake your hand. And then there's another one that looks like all of his photos are of his face. And the one that looks like all of the photos are of his face, that like look bothers me. And it's not a bad look. He could be great. But for whatever reason, maybe my own personal baggage that I have and my experiences, there's a very specific look, and it's like the facial structure, the haircut, and the clothes, and the posture. It's like, I don't think I'm going to get along with this dude. I've never seen pictures of them, says Liana. You know what, honestly, it's fine. Liana, I could name a lot of people that that look exactly like that dude that you know, but I can't do that because I would be insulting some people that maybe I'm friends with. But there's a very specific look that causes me some hesitation when meeting new people, and it is a look. I'm about to Google them. I don't know what they look like. When you Google them, you will know exactly what I mean when one of them looks like Cheeto dust and the other one looks like I'm very pretty. I like my face. Maybe I've forgotten what they look like. I don't want to talk about this anymore. You know exactly who I'm talking about. From that description, you know exactly which one I'm talking. Dar says I have a question. Go for it, Dar. What's your question? Hmm. There's a tweet saying that any two white guys can pop up and say they look like the Chainsmokers. Okay. All right. Yes. Before I had to see them over and over because of industry stuff, I didn't used to know what they looked like. And I saw them maybe once or twice, and then I immediately forgot what they looked like, and I was like, "Yo, any random dude like in Chipotle could come up to me and shake my hand and be like, "Yo, I don't know, uh, Clark Stevenson from Chainsmokers," and I would just kind of have to believe them. In the same way that if somebody came up to me and they were like, "Yo, I'm the bass player for I like this. I like this game. I'm the bass player for Disturbed." I would just kind of go, "Yeah, I guess. I don't know what that person looks like." And you are a man, and I know that the band is men, so I just trust you on this one. I used to confuse every skinny white boy for Tennyson. That is so wild to me, cause see that's weird, cause that's my friend. And I can crack on my friend to him, but I can't do it to you guys, because then that's different, right? That seems more mean spirited. But I understand what you mean, Alpha. Yes. Yeah. Luke from Tennyson does have a specific look. It's just always funny when somebody says looks like Tennyson because there are two people in Tennyson. So is Tennyson is two people. Anyways, one look like, but I get it because you probably didn't know what his name was. You didn't know his name was Luke, and so you didn't want to say the white guy from Tennyson. But anyhow, one looks like former jock streamer. Just released an apology video for saying the N word. I'm sure both of them have said the N word at some point. Oski says, "Hi, Omni. Swinging by to let you know you look great." Oh, whoa, you look great today. Have a good one, Chief. Thanks, Oski. Am I saying that right? Is it Oski? Thanks. I really appreciate that. Wow. Hmm. What a nice thing to say. Do you want to hear anything specifically, Oski, or are you heading out? Are you already gone? How do you... Hold on. Let me try to get to the bottom of this chat. How do you feel about Beiyang? About the Beiyang? I don't know what that is. I'm not going to miss the question. I got the question, Dar, but I don't know what that is. Maddie says, Lynn's weird, sure he's done that, because I believe it. I have a sense that the artists get brand managers specifically to make them look unique and identifiable, so you avoid the I'm I'm a white dude in Chipotle look. I agree with you, Cyber. I think that artists absolutely get branded to look unique, but I also think some artists that actually get branded to look not unique, if that makes sense. Like some of them are like, "Oh, we know exactly what kind of look you should go for because this tests well with girls between the ages of 12 and 15." And they kind of just make them look like a carbon copy. But I kind of wish that Chainsmokers looked a little bit more identifiable. Hmm. Okay, Chipotle, you missed it. Ben Tennyson says, "Good old cup of soup." That's a good joke. My 6'7" friend, oh, we're back on height again. My 6'7" friend is a deep voiced black guy that really liked the Chainsmokers, and everyone in that community college would make fun of him for that. That's a good thing. You should definitely make fun of him for that. And Luke had a song with Kyle, right? Says Alpha. Now we're just using first names. Are you talking about Luke from Tennyson? Who's Kyle? Because there's several Kyles. There's like Kyle, and there's like Super Duper Kyle. You're just talking about Kyle, like the rapper Kyle? Is that what you're talking about? Maddie says, "I do not have any doubt that they have done it. I just know proof." Yeah, I have no doubt. I had a feeling the Chainsmokers look like cataracts, and they kind of look alike. Oh. Most people disregard his sister, says Alpha. Yeah, I don't understand why people do that. It makes no sense. It's a duo. It is a brother and sister group. And people just kind of pretend like, well, we can talk about sexism later, but people kind of just pretend like the girl isn't there and that he's the band. In the same way that there was the White Stripes and people were just kind of like Jack White and kind of like acted like the girl on drums didn't exist. But what's weird is I feel like the only way around that is by making the girl the front of the group, you know, like, or at least the vocal front of the group, like if we're talking about Crystal Castles and stuff like that, or by literally making the name of the group like Matt and Kim. Like, you can't think of Matt and Kim without thinking of Kim, the person whose name is in the name of the group. But I think if Matt and Kim was just referred to as, like, I don't know, Super Beans, I think a lot of people would just think of Matt from Super Beans and not necessarily Kim from Super Beans. And I also think this is true when we come into, like, other, because, like, Tennyson, Matt and Kim, both kind of the same setup, you know, like, dude on keyboard singing, girl on drums going hamburger. And somehow people will forget that there is a girl in Tennyson, but everybody remembers Kim. Maybe instead of, if the name was Tennyson, if it was just Luke and Tess, people would remember that she exists. Because it's wild. Because I have to say, I'm actually closer to Tess than I am to Luke. I refer to Luke as my friend, but Luke is more so the older brother of my friend, if that makes sense. Hmm. Anyways, I've never seen that meme. I'm sorry, Dar. I've never seen it. Because Tennyson is tall, Omniboy. He's more noticeable. When people say Tennyson, are they talking about Luke? Are you saying Luke's tall? This joke needs to stop. Um, I think they were talking about Super Duper Kyle, says Jesse. Word. Okay. I don't know that song, actually. My bad. Um, it's because his sister joined later, though. Uh, 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 I have something I want to say, but I'm not gonna say it. I have something I have like a, I have a a confoundingly true rebuttal to that, which disproves it. But I'm not gonna say it because whatever. If people want to think that Tennyson existed as just Luke and somehow Tess joined later, even though they lived in the same house together and they've been playing music together for like what 10, 15 years now. What? I mean, That's fine. It's fine. Tess joined later. That's the narrative I'm gonna stick to for the internet's sake. Um, Hear the name Tennyson. It sounds kind of like a masculine title rather than a duo. But you hear the name Tennyson. Masculine? Tennyson? I don't hear it, but Alpha and company, to shoot bail to the idea that Tennyson is just Luke, if you have never seen them and you've only heard the music, I can see how maybe you would think that it is just a dude because he's singing all the time. So maybe you would think that it's just a dude. Or a band. That would also be a very, but it's very electronic. So I could see how somebody would just think that it's a dude producer. Um, I'll look up the meme if I can find it, Dar. I'm not really a meme guy though. Like I don't look up memes. I'm one of those people that like if a friend sends me a meme, I like usually will like block that friend. Like don't do that. Please don't do that. I'm not that. Don't do that to me. Anywho, I'll look up the meme if I have time, Dar. If I'm particularly in the mood for memes. Omni is always close to the girls, says Cyber. I appreciate that joke, Cyber. But the reason that I'm actually closer to Tess is because Tess hung out with a lot of the SoundCloud people. Luke is more of like a, I don't want to say Luke is antisocial, but Luke is more of like the in the studio working on music, not necessarily out and hanging out. And so any time Luke and Tess were out here recording, like doing recording things, I would usually wrangle up all of my friends and like just put out like a tweet like, yo, we're all going to Little Tokyo, like DM me for details, or we're all going to Salt and Straw getting ice cream, DM me for details. And Tess was usually the only one that was like down to hang out with everybody, and like everybody kind of just was more friendly with Tess. I feel like Tess was just around more. Even recently when Tennyson played at, well, not super recently because hasn't been any shows this year, but late last year when Tennyson was in Highland Park and um, played that show. After the show, me and Ramzoid, if anybody knows who Ramzoid is, he was here. Green Parrot was here. Anyways, it's whatever. This isn't like name drop session, but like me and a bunch of producers were like hanging out afterwards, and we all got food, and Luke just didn't come with us. Luke just like was like tired and went home, which I totally understand because I've been that dude like a million times. I'm just saying, I feel like more socially connected to one of them than the other one. Okay. Oh my goodness, I really have a lot to get through. Jack and Meg White were married, and yeah, she's very introverted, says Jesse. Word. Um, but you hear the name Tennyson, it sounds kind of like masculine thing. Alright, do your homework. Uh, oh my god, I'm just realizing how much I have to get through to get to the bottom. Okay, they were married, but they wanted to be portrayed as siblings on stage, which is totally weird AF, says Mobtown. I wanted to report. I wanted to report on my desk tomorrow morning, says Dar, about me having to look up a meme. Hmm. I don't think Tennyson sounds masculine, but I think the word has son in it, so maybe it does sound masculine. Maybe I'm. I think that I have like a weird. The first time I heard Tennyson, I knew it was both of them, so I didn't have to like do it. Like I was already, connecting that name to these two siblings. I feel like if a friend just sends me memes and never talks, we're not really friends, says Alpha. Tessa's always on social media looking cute, says Alpha. I feel weird. I'm not going to comment on that. But Tessa's on social media more than Luke is, for sure. Posting a lot of selfies. Eddie says, Luke always struck me, as the antisocial type, so I'm not surprised. Yeah, I don't want to say he's antisocial. Saying Luke is antisocial is like saying I'm antisocial, which is not necessarily true. Luke also does like production streams and stuff like that. I think Luke just likes making music, and then music made Luke a lot of friends and stuff like that. Oh man. Oh, and then Sydney came out. Oh, I can't talk about that actually. Um, God, I wish I could edit the stream to like cut out like edit. Wait, can I? Anyways, forget that I mentioned the name Sydney. That there's nobody by that name. I need more friends that just send me memes, says Jesse. I'm lacking a meme plug at the moment. Hey, how many random questions, says Mobtown. They're all random. Mobtown laid on me. How do you talk to someone, says Good Old Cup of Soup, that doesn't want to talk, so you send them memes to try and make them happy? Here's the reason why I don't like it when people send me memes. Because we all exist on the internet, and the internet is like a meme jungle, right? And so I don't want to leave the internet and then have the internet somehow get to me through my friends. If that makes sense. It's almost like, I feel like, here's what my analogy for that would be. It would be if I work at IKEA all day and I have to smell meatballs all the time, and then on my time off when I'm just sitting in my room, somebody comes into my room and is like, hey man, you want some IKEA meatballs? It's like, we're all part of this weird internet generation. We spend so much time on the internet, like, I don't need you to send me memes. Half the time you send them to me, I've seen them already. And also, just be funny. I don't know. I like when my friends make jokes. I don't like when my friends send me jokes somebody else made. I don't know. It's a very personal thing to me. Mobtown says, random question. You met Sean Wasabi? That's not a very random question. I feel like that question's always somewhat relevant because, yeah, well, anyways, me and Sean have been friends for a long time. Me and Sean started talking in 2013, 2014, and then we met in early 2015 when I moved to LA. Sean had not moved to LA yet. Sean still lived in Northern California, but Sean was down here visiting for an anime convention that they were playing. And so we met and hung out there. That was the first time that we met in real life. We had been talking online for a couple of years. And then we played some shows together throughout like 2015 to 2017. And we still live in the same area. Like, we live in the same like neighborhood basically. And so, yeah, saying have I met them would be weird. I would say I know them. I'm just like friends with them. But Mobtown's asking how tall is he. I don't know how tall people are. I don't know. I can't give you feet and inches. I can't even tell you how tall I am, and I'm around me constantly. So as far as how tall Sean is, maybe like check a Sean interview or like look up a bio or something. Maybe somebody has it online how tall he is. Oh, I'll try to confront them. Says good old cup of soup. They say it's okay, but they're a nice person and probably don't want to hurt my feelings. Thank you, says good old cup of soup. Oh, whoa. What are you talking about? Go on Tennyson's YouTube channel. I see mostly Luke. I only see mostly Luke. I only see mostly... Alpha, are you saying you see mostly Luke, or you see only Luke? Because if you see another person at all that's there in the group, whether it's sometimes or not, they are there. It's like if you look at the Yellow music video for Coldplay, it's like, yeah, you're looking at Chris Martin walk around. He's the star of the music video. But I wouldn't say that Coldplay is just one person. But I understand. I understand. We can go back and forth all day. I get it. A lot of people think that Tennyson is one person. Tennyson is two people. It's a brother and a sister. If you didn't know, you know now. If you already knew, then cool. Good on you. You've done your research. You're very observant. YouTube update lets me comment while on the phone. This is so cool, says Kiwi. Oh. It's okay, Alpha. I wasn't getting upset or anything. I understand. I understand where anybody's coming from if they think that it was one person. You have to understand, I always come from like a weird place, specifically if we're talking about people that I know. Or, like, it's always weirder, right? It's always weirder. Also, you know what's weird? Somebody telling you, like, trivia about somebody you know. I don't know how to explain that. Some of you do get that. Some of you, that's 100% happened to you, where somebody comes up to you and they're like, yo, have you heard? Like, so-and-so just got a record deal. They signed, like, this much. And you're like, first of all, I know that person. Second of all, that's not true. Third of all, there's no way for me to tell you that without it sounding like weird, preachy, and like name-droppy and boasty. So I just kind of have to like regularly hear lies and like misconceptions about my friends on a weekly basis. You know. My wait, who was I talking to? Oh, I was on like a Discord chat, and like my ex roommate from 2016. Still gets weird personal questions about me. Like people will DM him asking him like, yo, what, like asking Omniboy questions. I'm like, oh, that's weird and awful. He's like, yo, a lot of people think like the weirdest stuff about you, man. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I don't care that much, but it must be weird for him. By default, I just kind of assume an artist is more than one person if I'm not sure, because if it is one person, then it's a compliment. But the other way around feels insulting. Oh, it's actually pretty good, inoffensive way to go about things. Oh. Thank you for the stream, Omni. Everyone have a wistful Wednesday. Maddie is out of here. Thank you, Maddie, for being here. I appreciate you. And I will get to work on that Wednesday and making it as wistful as possible. I've gotten DMs before, says Kiwi. I'm sorry. On behalf of any of those DMs, whether they were personal or not, Kiwi, I actually am really sorry. I don't know. I try to do what I can. Like, I actually have, like, made, like, tons of tweets. Tons maybe is a exaggeration, but I've made several tweets that are just like, hey guys, can you, like, not message my mom or my friends? Or can you now, like, see me hanging out with a girl on, like, an Instagram story for 2 seconds and then, like, look that person up on Instagram and, like, stalk them and message them? That would be, like, super dope if you didn't do that. But, I don't know. It's the internet, right? That's why I always thank you guys for being respectful and polite at the end of it, because people are not like that for the most part. Eddie says, Omni, what's your favorite shampoo? I know they're saying it as a joke, and I don't have any favorites, but maybe this is too much information, but I did and maybe have a dandruff problem. I had a dandruff problem when I was in high school, so I just used Head and Shoulders because that was a dandruff shampoo. And I just never stopped using it. I might not even have a dandruff problem anymore. Does everybody... Hold on, I actually need to ask a weird question. If if you don't wash your hair, don't you just get dandruff? Is there anybody in this chat or in the world that just doesn't get dandruff? Is that a thing? Head and Shoulders feels like my scalp is burning. Guys, can you answer my question? Is there can you not? Is there anybody that just doesn't wash their hair for like a month and doesn't get dandruff? I gotta know. Kiwi says they're good at ignoring people and they're a private person. That I appreciate you, Kiwi. I really truly do. Everyone has some level of dandruff. It's not uncommon. Okay. Okay. It's bizarre because you stream, so if they really want to know somebody, they could just, I don't know, get to know you. No, that's too much work. Lindsay, that's too much work. Also, Lindsay, I'm going to say something in a second after I get to the bottom of the chat that is going to immediately make sense to you. Dandruff is just salt buildup, if I'm not mistaken, so yeah, everyone should have it to some degree. Dandruff is inevitable. Oh, I love these comments. I wash my hair once a week and every other week. I don't really have dandruff, says Kiwi. I haven't washed my hair in like a year, says Alpha, but I make sure my scalp is clean. I haven't... It's a matter of how often and how much. Dandruff can be used as seasoning, says Eddie. I don't know why I say stuff like that, and then they go on to apologize. I have to wash daily, or it goes psycho, says Umbe. So what I'm gathering from a lot of these comments, guys, I haven't washed mine for 3 weeks, and I don't have anything, says Finnuke. What I'm gathering from this is that, really, a dandruff problem doesn't exist. We all seem to develop dandruff at just different rates, right? Some people can go months without any dandruff. For me, personally, I think that I will get dandruff if I don't wash my hair and like condition it and like take care of it. I think I can go a week and a half to 2 weeks before I will get dandruff. And that's just kind of been a thing for me, for my life. So when it comes to shampoo, I tend to use Head and Shoulders because then I don't have to wash my hair as much, because I don't want to have to wash it constantly and then damage my hair. So yeah, I usually use Head and Shoulders. Sometimes I'll use, like, I can't think of what the name of the brand is, but the bottle is like almost a circle. It's actually kind of expensive. I should stop buying it, but I'll use that too. I'll like condition it. I'll usually use like Head and Shoulders to wash my hair, and then I'll condition it with something fancier and like nice smelling because, yeah. So I don't know if I have a favorite shampoo. That just happens to be the shampoo I've used for, most of my life. Word up. We can get off of like hair hygiene because there was something. Oh, I wanted to address what Lindsay said. Lindsay said, if somebody wanted to get to know you, they could just like come into the stream and ask you stuff. But there's an entire class. Oh my god, I'm referring to them as a class of people. There's an entire group of people, Lindsay. And when I say this, you'll know. Maybe you're this type of person. Maybe I'm this type of person. But there are an entire group of people that are like, no. If I have an interview, right, where somebody goes through every day of my life and they're like, so what did you do at 8 a.m.? And I'm like, I made some breakfast. And I go through my journal and I read my entire journal. A lot of people will be like, wow, I've heard everything. And then there's always going to be one person that's like, yeah, but what is he not telling us? That's what I want to know. I want to know the secret. And so those are the people, Lindsay. There's people that can like come into a stream or look at my Twitter or Instagram and be like, he's like telling a lot. But like, maybe I should like hit up his mom. She probably knows the really juicy bits. And then they'll like hit up my mom or my roommate or my neighbors or, my coworkers or, etc. That creates gossip, says Mobtown Tokyo. Yeah. It creates a lot of things that aren't good. Oh. Interesting. That's so idiotic to think that your friend's family would just share that kind of info. If you have good friends and good family, Lindsay, absolutely. But we don't all have that, so it's not that idiotic. I've had some friends that have sold me out on some stuff. But you're right, Easy Door, that is rude. I don't want to bum the stream out by talking about rude people. I don't want to bum it out. I don't want to bum everybody out. That's that Medley just included all of Signals. That was nice. I wish I could do that on purpose more often. Eddie says people be obsessed about people. Stan culture, baby. Um, if someone asks my mom, "How is your son doing?" to her, I'm just her kid. What's sensitive into her doesn't track the same way as people who come to. Like work stuff. This is very true, Jesse. This is where things can get a little messy. That's the balance of being a public figure, I guess, Omni. It's kind of weird spot where he's definitely approachable but still has fame. That's ridiculous. But yeah. If there's no, I try to be as approachable as possible, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't work. Like that person that tweeted about me being in Little Tokyo the other day. They could have come up and said something to me and not made like a weird tweet about it, but they didn't. So that's fine. I know he has a roommate, but that's enough info for me personally. Like, I don't want to know everything personal of, yeah, Mogtown. And then there's a thing like restraint. Sometimes people will like, I know enough. Um, sometimes people will know enough, and then other times it's never enough. They gotta know more. This is true. Yeah, this is a, like Cyber said, this is a very small sample size of the people that actually listen to my music. I would say that for the most, I would say, oh, this is a fun game. I would say, and the reason I say this is because I've gone into several different establishments. Establishment number 1 was called Twinkle Brown Sugar, which I ended up naming a song after later. Establishment number 2 was a place called Toast Tea, which ended up going out of business. Very, very sad. They also had very good boba. Spoiler, most of these places are going to be boba shops. There's another place that I went into called Half and Half Boba Good Old Time. Not to be confused with Half and Half Old Fashioned Boba, which is 2 completely different boba shops. I don't know why they both have the name Half and Half. There's one more instance that this happened. No, it wasn't Nest. I went into another place. Basically, there's been several times in my life where I've gone into a place and they've been playing my music. And I've said like something along the lines of like, "Oh, this is so cool. Thanks for playing my music." Or like, "Hey, do you know like who controls the music in here?" Is usually the first question. And they're like, "Oh, we just have a playlist that we make." I'm like, "Well, like I made this song. Thank you. That's actually really cool." Or I'm like, "Hey, who controls the music in here?" And they're like, "Oh, it's just like a corporate thing. You know, it just pipes through." And then I'm like, "Oh, that's weird. I made this song." And maybe that's like a little self-aggrandizing or egotistical, but it doesn't happen very often to me. So every single time it happens, it's very flattering. So I usually say something. And I would say, and all of the establishments that I just named, about 40% to 50% of the times that I say that, the person, if they know my music, will go, And if I inquire further, like I did in Toasty, they'll just go, "I didn't know you were black. I just kind of assumed that you were white." And somebody else said, "Oh, I didn't know you were black." Yeah, I don't know what I thought, but definitely not black is what I thought you were. And so I think for me, it would be like, how can somebody not know that I'm black? Because my face in like the videos and Instagram and Twitter. But for a lot of people that only listen to the music and maybe only in passing pay attention to like album covers, they could just, I could see how somebody wouldn't make the wild assumption that I was a black person. And so I would say you guys are a very small, like a skittle in an ocean of, well, that's an exaggeration. A skittle in a bag of Skittles, I guess? You're a skittle in a bag of Skittles. Of people that are like, oh no, a decent amount. Like, oh, that I scream at all, or that I look like this, or that I sound like this. But for a lot of people, it's just like, I don't know, Omni, some random white dude, producer from SoundCloud that like makes stuff, and sometimes I make music with other people for other people. Anywho, always something to keep in mind. I said I'm not gonna act like I'm not curious about many things. We're all curious at some time. It's weird to know too much info via online than knowing them personally enough to not share really personal info. It is. It's a balance for sure, Mobtown. That makes sense to me. That actually makes sense. Like if someone has the aux cord and they're playing you, that's kind of dope. Yeah. Yeah, it's like it's super flattering. And like for example, I got a friend that way. I went into Fickle Wish, which is closing now, which is the reason why I was in Little Tokyo the other day, and they were playing my music, and I was like, "Oh, I made this song," to the person that was behind the counter, and they were like, "Oh, I love your music. I didn't know you looked like this. I've seen you. I've seen you a bunch of times before, like walking around downtown. I just didn't know that you were the person that made all this music that we were playing. And I was like, yeah, that's me. Anyways, I hang out with that person sometimes. I mean, obviously not now because of quarantine, but we actually ended up hanging out a few times. They were really cool. Um, I think I met their mom. Pretty sure I met their mom at some point, and I met their ex roommate. And then when I went to the Anime Gucci show, they were there. They were like there with their boyfriend, and so it was really cool, really cool stuff. Anyways, yeah, people didn't know I was black. When I looked up your SoundCloud the first time, I thought it was obvious because you had an AV art of yourself. Oh yeah. People don't, but that's like already more attention or observation than most people have for music. Um, Fickle is closing, says Kiwi. Yeah, Fickle is closing. It might be closed already. Who knows? About to make another playlist on Spotify with Omni and music of the like. Oh, thanks, Mobtown. I appreciate that. Um, I think I think a lot of the artists that I listen to, Liana, because yeah, you did the work. You saw my profile image. I think a lot of the artists I listen to, I don't know what their social media is. I've never seen a profile picture or an image. And sometimes when I do see them, it is kind of like this chain smokers thing where I look at them and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess. Um, there's been a few times where even I've been surprised by somebody being black, another artist, like in the scene or something. Are you still hanging with Callion Fox as Alpha? Me and Callion haven't seen each other for a while. Maybe that's my bad, actually. Callion actually is like really, really good about keeping up with me and like he'll message me. He'll just like text me sometimes, just like, "Yo, so it's good, brother. What's like happening with you?" And I'll just be like, everything, blah blah blah." And we'll talk for like a little bit. He's like, "Yo, we gotta like do blank, or we gotta work on blank, or like I'm over here, like you want to hang out?" And basically, I've just been so like not going out to things, so they haven't seen anybody. But me and Kelly on still talk for sure, and we'll hang out again. It's just I haven't really been like chilling and kicking it with people this year so much, but. Yeah, that's definitely family. How do you come to meet Callion, says Alpha? I mean, we're both in California. Callion was from the Bay Area. Oh, man. You want the full story? You want a full story or you want an abridged story? The full story is roughly 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes, and the abridged one is about 20 seconds. Like one you see is all I have. It's just a loop. Oh, profile pic of me actually for any of my music stuff. Need to do a photo shoot sometime and update my stuff, says Mobtown. Oh, I miss photo shoots. Those are fun. Oh. A bridge now. A bridge now, full later, says Alpha. Callion lived in the Bay. And was moving down to Los Angeles. We had a lot of friends in common, and then we like linked up at a show in Hollywood, and then I gave him my number, and then we started hanging out. I think yeah, and like Callion is kind of responsible for, in part, for Lil Yachty giving internet a lot of internet ears. Oh God! Wow, this year has really torn a lot of things apart, hasn't it? Anyways, yeah, Callion's good. I feel like that was just for Alpha. I don't know if anybody else in the stream knows who. Oh wait, never mind. I might work on some art with Callion maybe if he ever comes back to me. Oh, where'd up, Eddie? Well, I hope he does, for your sake and for his sake. Yeah, collaboration's always fun. Did Callion ever fix things out with that potato? That's a good question for Callion. Definitely not for me. Definitely not for me. Wow, I haven't seen any of my friends. It's wild. Like I know it's true, but it is sometimes wild when I like look at the stream and I'm like, it's August. It's August, and I haven't seen a lot of my friends since New Year's. Like, and some even before that. Like, wow. What video of his did you appear in though? I want to see now. New Year, New Me. I think it was like one of the New Year, New Me videos. Um, yeah. August. I haven't seen any of my friends really. I've seen my roommate because I see them every day, and well, not really every day. Then that's whoa. Oh my god, it's August, and I've kind of just seen my roommate. Hmm. Um. Wow. Okay. Well, moving on from that because that path gets dark really quickly, guys. Yesterday was wet cement, right? So this Friday is going to be the 200th stream. I just want to review what exactly we came to a conclusion of, or a semi conclusion, I guess is a better way to put it. Um. Um. This Friday, I will be doing a production stream. Production stream. Probably just gonna end up working on what's that thing? What's that song called? Probably gonna end up working on Dropout a lot and then starting something new. And then at 6 p.m. on Friday, we will be eating pizza and watching Three Ninjas. I don't care where you get your pizza from; it's fine. Whatever you like, get that, and we're gonna be watching Three Ninjas. Today I have a lot of work to do, and tomorrow I have a meeting that I have to do right after the stream, so I don't have a huge amount. Oh my god! Sorry, just had a little bit of overload because I do have a lot to do. The next 2 days are going to be super hectic, but I will spend some time outside the stream, like trying to organize exactly how this is going to work, also for Friday. But in tomorrow's stream, the cement will be solidified. It'll be hard. The cement will be done. It'll be pavement by that point. And yeah, these questions will be answered tomorrow. Alpha, I'm sorry. Eddie's going with DiGiorno. That's wild. I haven't had a DiGiorno pizza in a very long time. But we are approaching the 3 hours of the stream. I'm going to really quickly talk about the platforms that you can hear all of my music on. They are on Bandcamp, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Google Play, Amazon MP3, Tidal, Group, Deezer, Pandora, Napster, and YouTube. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and check out Quarantunes, which is a song/video series I had highlighting some songs that I was making every 7 days in quarantine. We're still in quarantine, but the quarantine stops. Hopefully they'll be back. They'll be back when I'm feeling up for it. As far as shows, merch, and everything and stuff like that, we're in a quarantine, so you know how that goes. Can't really play anything, right? Can't play any shows. Can't do much of anything. But we have a 200 stream on Friday. That's wild. Because I can remember when I moved from Instagram over here to YouTube and how like weird that was. And how hard it was to get people to come over from Instagram. I remember some people just took them at least like 50 streams over here for them to actually start coming up here. Some people never came. Some people were here in the beginning, or close to the beginning. So I appreciate all you guys. I appreciate all you guys for doing that. But wow, yeah, 200, right around the corner. I think the movie pizza thing. Hopefully it goes well. I have high hopes. Oh, I didn't. Oh, thanks for reminding me. Oh, Crow. hope you have some good plans for today, Crow. I know having a birthday in quarantine is rough. I don't know exactly what the city you're in is like right now, but I mean, I had my birthday in quarantine and I didn't really get to do anything. I had a really good stream. The stream was super dope. Um, but yeah, I didn't really do anything outside of it. It was weird. Did we ever get a 198 keyboard sound? We did not, Cyber. Thank you. It's something called a drawbar organ. Ooh, it's quiet. Ooh, okay, alright. It's a nice organ sound. It's actually a nice organ sound. I think the organ is something. I remember there being an organ around. Was it in the garage or something? It was broken though. Why do people do that? Why do people have musical instruments in their home and not use them? Like, why do people like it's a piece of furniture or something? Anyways, the word Omni is trending on Twitter. Oh, I wonder why. I wonder what happened. Is Omni Hotels in trouble? If I had a keyboard like that, I could probably make a song for every preset, says Umbe. This preset was made for this song. What song was I playing? Oh, Kiwi. Ooh, I like that note in there a lot. That's dope. What? That's sick. What the heck? No, I'm close. Okay, all right. Oh, what the heck is that? That's dope. Crap. There is something happening in the chat. I think it's gotten scrolled out of my This one reminds me of baseball stadium, says Cyber. Yeah, it definitely has that like. No. You can't just do like the walking. Anyways, crap. I keep getting sidetracked. I do really like that. I like the. No. That's fun. Um. Oh, mine expansion. Thanks, Cyber. Oh, I appreciate that. Oh, hey, stream is still on. Yes, Jaime, it's still on, but it's getting ready to go off. Not in a good way. I think the off has. We've gone off already. Now we're gonna go ahead and end the stream with a special drawbar organ version of Hush Hour. I have to use the bathroom very bad. It's only 3 p.m. says okay. S. Felix says, as second village town you visit in video game feel to it. Fully vibe. Oh, I love this review. This review is fun. I also like all these emojis. Thanks, guys. I'm gonna dip to do my stream on Twitch, says Mobtown Tokyo. If anyone wants to pop in, it's under Mobtown Tokyo. I love the consistency, Mobtown. I am going to leave now to prepare some type of breakfast for myself. I'm starving. But thank you always, everybody, for being respectful to me and polite to each other. I will be back here tomorrow for the Thursday stream in which we will completely solidify the cement on what we are doing for the 200th stream and what we are doing for the pizza party. I'm just going to call it pizza party for right now. I know, that's not very inventive or innovative, but I'm going to go ahead and call it a pizza party. What we're going to do for the pizza party will be solidified by tomorrow. Thank you, everybody, again, for being respectful to me and polite to each other. I hope you enjoy whatever you have planned for this Friday, Thursday, Wednesday. Sorry, Jesus Christ. I hope you enjoy whatever you have planned for this Wednesday. And I'll see you here tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. for Morning Medley number 199. Thursday. Jesus. Abo, everybody. Thanks for 198, Cyber. I like this sound. I don't like most organ sounds. I find them grating, but this one's nice. It's 200 Pizza Party. Yes, Jaime, 200 is Pizza Party. There will be more info on it tomorrow, though. Abo. Abo, everybody. Abo.